Maybe you can get a gimmicky kill that way on a smaller map. We'll have to see if that's what they go for. The Destro Warlock coming out of Ball Jugglers, which we're expecting. It's quite scary.
I would expect to see that coming into the first game, and look, there it is.
Yep. So we do see the disc. Jungle Cleave coming out of UWOTM8 against that Destro LSD, the 3,300 rated Destro LSD of Ball Jugglers. DJ Flapper's just kind of walking in. You can see he's getting quite close to Fnobbers, but he's just going to sit in that bear form. He needs to catch him out of that if he wants to do anything. The Hex instantly onto Rilzin, and that's going to force the Trinket deterrence. 2 Chaos Bolts come flying out, 1 onto the Disc Priest. That shield going to absorb a lot of that, but instantly they get the Trinket deter from the Hunter, and not too much on the side of Ball Jugglers.
Yeah, and we're still seeing Ball Jugglers in that Dark Soul right now, really putting the pressure onto both Retza and Disio. Disio does have 1 deterrence left at this point, but has already blown the Trinket. But now we're seeing a little bit of a return of pressure from UWOTM8, and quickly Ball Jugglers looking to close that down. Yeah,
that's the thing about Ball Jugglers. It's all the Fnobbers really has to do is keep crossing the map and get away from the Hunter, because if the Hunter has to walk into the middle, like you see, he's just eating Chaos Bolts. Nazarin's with his 2nd Dark Soul up, the Pain Suppression going to answer that one, so he should be okay for now. But as you can see, Fnobbers is just consistently crossing the map. He's using that Travel Form, using the Resto Druid mobility, and every single time the Hunter crosses to chase him, to try get that pressure, he just eats all this damage from Zeepai and Nazarins.
Yeah, and Ball Jugglers have been absolutely relentless, really knowing the pressure points for UWOTM8, putting so much damage into both the Hunter and the Priest. They just haven't let up at all.
Yeah, and so there's not too much right now. We see the Hunter is pushing it out. Having said that, here comes another Chaos Bolt. So much damage, he's just going to die here maybe. It's 2%, yeah, he does for that Execute coming out like we talked about. If you drop that low, you're just in so much trouble. And I was just saying, like, there wasn't really anything happening for 1 second there. Nazarin then casts a Chaos Bolt. He does the late stun onto the Hunter so he doesn't get that deterrence out in time, and then there's 2 bolts in the air already. He deters on like 40%, just instantly dead anyway.
Yeah, look at the Chaos Bolt damage. That's absolutely insane. That's nuts. That was pretty much what we were talking about going into this match too. The Warlock's just going to be able to get so much burst, and the second he went down to 20, he just gets that easy execute. And we did see that Feign Death come out. Took a few more seconds to actually target him again and hit the execute.
Yes. Like you say, I mean, that was a 233,000 Chaos Bolt. We will never see a bigger ability, barring some sort of executes, but obviously you can only do that at low percentages. So we'll never see a bigger ability on that scoreboard. You have about 500,000 health. So this is why, like, as a caster, we see the Hunter at 100%. We're like, not too much is happening. And then a Chaos Bolt lands for 233k. It's like suddenly he's 50.
Their sleeves to get that first win on the board for UWOTM8.
Yep, and that's what we're looking for. So we see the gates opening in 5, Nazarin, Zeepai, Fnobbers, no changes on either side. UWOTM8 up against it a little bit after game 1, but they do have the right strategy in my opinion. If they can catch Fnobbers out of form, like catch him out of that bear form with an incarnation, maybe get a stun on his Trinket or something along these lines, they can definitely take him down. Fnobbers has to spend a lot of time crossing between pillars to get that Hunter to come out, so sometimes he will lose his DPS, as we do see the setup instantly from Ball Jugglers, but a nice trap onto Nazarin's Dark Soul. That's going to shut down the first Chaos Bolt. Can they stop the second one? It's actually pre-deterrenced, so nicely played by the Hunter, and he's going to LOS the rest of that cooldown.
Yeah, he really manages to shut down the opening from Ball Jugglers with that pre-deterrence, and also, yeah, caught the first Chaos Bolt sleeping. And we're going to see Fears get pumped out here, try to disrupt UWOTM8's pressure early on in the game.
Yep, I completely agree. We do see the second Dark Soul coming out. Nazarin's is not scared to pop these cooldowns, and that's going to be a bolt. It's actually the silence was a bit too late, I think, so one of those lands a full Hex onto the Disc Priest. This might be the second deterrence already. The Shadow Fury to follow up. There's the second deterrence. Can they follow up the CC? The DR Fair is probably not going to be enough to force the Trinket, but already the Hunter has nothing, and Fnobbers is looking so fine. He still has his Trinket, the Heart of the Wild, still available. He's just sitting in that bear form tanking this Jungle Cleave.
Yeah, Pain Suppress is the main thing left on the table for UWOTM8 to close down pressure from the Ball Jugglers, but Ball Jugglers are sitting so clean right now. We do see that Iron Bar get blown onto Fnobbers at this point.
Yeah, and this is the incarnation coming up from DJ Flapper, so they really need to get some work done here. If they don't get at least this Trinket, I don't think they're going to ever win this game. Another Chaos Bolt comes out, hits the Hunter, the Shadow Fury to follow it up into the full Hex. On his Trinket, that's going to be game. A beautiful Shadow Fury by Nazarins on the Trinket from the Disc Priest into the Hex. No opportunity for a counterplay, and Ball Jugglers again. I mean, Fnobbers didn't even Trinket.
Yeah, and I mean, Nazarin's just looking like an absolute rock star too. Some of those Shadow Furies just coming in at the perfect time, shutting down any potential heals onto the target that he's Chaos Bolting.
Yep, and that's the thing, Ball Jugglers, they're literally every single stun seems to be a cooldown from UWOTM8, and they're not answering with enough damage to ever kill Fnob, as we can see again. 223k Chaos Bolt. That's pretty unimpressive after last game, to be honest.
Yeah, he got 233 last time, right? Yeah, really slacking.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Nazareth's got to step it up in game 3. Yeah, hit up Rorix. What's he doing?
So, yeah, I think overall, joking aside, Ball Jugglers looking very, very strong. We're probably going to get into third map. I imagine they'll go with Ruins, just because it's small, but then again, it's quite open. I don't think Nazareth's going to have any problems.
Yeah, Nazareth's going to be able to train someone down pretty effectively for matchup. It's one of the reasons that it's a hard comp to play right now. So yeah, as you can see, Ball Jugglers have taken the first 2 games pretty convincingly against UWOTM8, and we're going to be jumping into this next match right now.
Yep, so gates opening for potentially UWOTM8's final game of the day. We actually see they brought out the Feral Ret Disc. So this is a composition I have never, ever, ever seen played in a tournament, certainly not in WOD. Maybe I have in previous expansions. The potential for punish is very high. Of course, you have Incarnation, you have the wings from the Rets. That's a lot of damage. The question is, can they connect to Fnobbers? We actually see the Bop coming out instantly. They're trying to get onto him right now. The wings comes out. This is a lot of damage. The Bark Skin instantly respected by Fnobbers. He's trying to get those Cyclones out. I'd like to see him just get out of there and take 0 risks.
Yeah, we're seeing UWOTM8 in a pretty similar position as they were in before. Only thing left on the table is going to be that paint suppression.
Yeah, and the thing is, they used the wings there, but they got Barkskin from Flores, but he's going to be completely fine with that trade. The only way that UWOTM8 can win this game now is if they catch Fnobbers with the Incarnation somehow, but he still has his Trinket, he still has his Iron Bark, lots of answers on the side of Ball Jugglers, and at the same time, we do see that Incarnation coming out now, the preemptive Iron Bark from Fnobbers, beautiful play by him. We do see that paint suppression and the bubble overlapped. UWOTM8 so scared of Nazarins right now, and he's actually taking a fair bit of damage. The shield wall coming out from him, that's also an Aura Mastery, so maybe we'll see some Chaos spots. UWOTM8 going to respect that, run away a little bit. They actually come in now with the DR Hodge, maybe a small mistake on their side, but really, they haven't forced anything significant from Fnobbers still, and they have no offensive cooldowns left.
That overlap was really rough, and we do see Retza has managed to play this Trinket very greedy. He still does have it, so that might buy him a little bit of time against a Hex that might shut down the setup. There's the Shadow Fury coming in. Expect to see a lot of damage here, and it's coming out onto Toster. Yeah,
so the Ret Feral, one thing they have going for them is it's 2 hybrids, so obviously that's a lot of self-healing when their healer is CC'd. They also have a Hex decast from the Feral, so he can just remove Hexes from his Disc Priest, and they have 2 sacrifices from the Ret. So they have a lot of ways of removing the CC from their Disc Priest, but it feels like it's the damage from Ball Jugglers more than the CC that's killing them. At the same time, UWOTM8 is still alive. This is a lot longer than they lived in the first 2 games.
And hey, we said maybe a War of Attrition would be favorable for them, and maybe they'll get to dampening and actually get to put a little bit more pressure onto BallJS. And we're going to see all 3 of them get hit by the Shadow Fury, the Bop coming out onto Flappers, but he's still getting dangerously low.
Yeah, that was actually really nice from UWOTM8. I mean, they made the mistake of getting caught in that triple Shadow Fury in the first place, but then they Ball Jugglers put the Hex onto the disc and they put the Bash onto the Feral, but Tonsa bopped out the Bash, and then the Feral could dispel the Hex. So excellent communication on the side of UWOTM8, and that's the reason they're still alive in this one. We do see that the Disc Priest did trade out his Trinket during that last exchange as the Demon Soul Chaos Bolt's coming out onto Flappers. He gets that wall off barely in time. The full Cyclone, no answer to that one. Another Chaos Bolt comes out, but the wall was still up, barely able to stay out of that one. No real pressure though on the side of UWOTM8. As we can see, he's almost in that execute range, 23%, so close to dying, and he barely makes it out alive. DJ Flappers, sorry, is a live lord.
Yeah, we just see him moving all around that tomb, back and forth, trying to stay alive. And it's just so ominous when you can see Nazarin casting another Chaos Bolt.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just so scary. And we do see the wings coming out from Tonsa. Unfortunately, I guess Hextub, that is going to be dispelled. No real pressure again coming out onto Fnobbers. He's sitting healthy at 70%. He gates out of there, and he might just go down. That's going to be it. A nice Shadow Fury. No real respect for the Dark Soul of Nazarins. They didn't really have any answers anyways. Yeah. And that's going to be 3-0 in favor of Ball Jugglers.
That composition does need a name, though.
Do we name it right now?
Yeah, Chimera Cleave. I like it. Yeah,
What's the reasoning?
It's got the wings, and then you can go into like all your different animal forms. So like a bear with wings, Chimera-ish, yeah? Chimera Cleave?
I mean, we'll have to see what Twitch chat says.
Yeah,
of course, they decide everything.
Yeah, so. tweet out. We should do a Twitter poll. And
what's Chimera Cleave?
Yeah, Chimera Cleave. I think Chimera Cleave just got established, but it did get taken down by BallJS.
Yes.
The Ball Jugglers are going to be advancing and potentially getting to play another one of the same comp that they just beat pretty convincingly, but that's going to be it for UWOTM8. They are going to be going home after this qualifier cup.
Yep. So they go away, like we say, with $200. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Maybe not. They would have expected to get into this final 8. They did beat some quite good teams to get here. So well played by them, and hope to see them in future cups. Like I say, I love to see players from the UK represented. That beautiful flag right there. But Ball Jugglers were